Hello. Welcome welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to talk to you about Zebralette 3. And let me say, I'm very excited to do so. Because this little thing is powerful, is incredibly powerful for what it is. Now, let's first say this is a public beta. It's been this same public beta for around a year. And apparently they're saying, yeah, they're going to release another one. But as they rightfully say, people like me have been waiting for news about Zebra 3 for decades. So, well, anyway, this is what we have. And as you would expect from Eùoè, and this being a beta, you will find no mention of it on their website. You'll have to go through a forum on KVR and get this synth here. And what is that you get here? Well, you have one oscillator with these two oscillator effects and a bunch of modulators, an envelope, two LFOs, and this MSEG, which is a lot more complicated than the rest. And then just some basic effects, very basic, just a reverb and a delay. That's it. Well, no, I was forgetting. You also get this little mod matrix down here, which makes all the difference in the world. So both here and down here, the interface is dominated by these two curve editors, which are, well, actually you can have a way deeper editor, and they're very, very similar, if not entirely the same. And you can edit them thoroughly, and you can zoom in or out in incredible detail, which allows for quite weird things. And also for this MSEG, you see the loop points here can also be morphed. Yes, I'm saying I can edit one curve, but I can also edit other curves. I can make up to 16 snapshots, like as it was in the original Zebralette or in Zebra. And then with this knob, which is named Curve Morph in both cases, I can go through the sequence of the snapshots and morph from one to the other. Simple as that. Now, while for the MSEG, this shape will be the shape of a modulation, as you would expect, for the oscillator, things can be a little bit different, because this can be both a waveform or a shape in a spectrum. So, just a representation of a series of harmonics. This both, if we're thinking of playing this oscillator as a wavetable, as in this case, as if, or in this case, as an additive oscillator. I can choose the number of harmonics, and with the spectral distortion knob, control, according to the modifier I put here, the relative spacing of the harmonics, which is quite cool. While this can work as, a guide for the waveform I'd be generating or the spectrum I'd be generating. Amazing, isn't it? Setting the oscillator one way or the other will change the function of this control, because in additive way it controls the number of harmonics, while if I turn it to wavetable, it controls the unison number. You don't do unison on additive synths. Well, actually you can, but it's a complicated thing I'm not discussing today and not here. Here you have the possibility to change if you're generating sound as a spectrum or as a curve. I mean, in the sense, if you're using this curve to be the spectrum of your sound or the waveform. At the same time here, I was forgetting to mention, you have these visualizers. From here, you just see the waveform that comes out of the curve generator somehow. And if you're you can look at it in the frequency domain or in the time domain. Again, same thing. This is the way you're generating it. This is the way you're seeing it. and you can see how they are after the effects or before. And here you got these two effects specifically. I'm saying effects even though they are different from these effects. These are oscillator effects, somehow similar to what you find, say, in the Spectral or in the distortion menu in the Vital Oscillator or in the Warp menu in Serum. These are just the same. They contain both phase and spectral effects, and you can put them one after the other or the other way around. Not the other way around. There is, I mean, FX1 and then FX2. I mean, they're just serial, purely serial. And really, they do add a lot of possibilities. So I've been talking for a while about a synth which, yes, it's free, but it's a beta. At the time is also slightly buggy and troubling. And it's also very, very simple. Why am I wasting my time talking about it, you might wonder? Well, the thing is that this is pretty powerful, as you can tell. I mean, I can make sounds that are in the same league as things I could get out of way more complex synths, and this is just an oscillator. And the best thing of this is that this is just the beginning. There's people at Eùoè releasing these. This is terrible. I mean, I've been waiting for a Zebralette forever, and now they release this, and now they leave me here for a year. They're like a professional striptease. I mean, they're really like a stripper. They're there, they were waiting. I want that synth. Give it to me. And all I have for now is this. And I'm very happy with it. I mean, it's really, really amazing. I can't wait to see what I can do with it when, you know, it's not just one oscillator by itself, but it's one thing in a slightly more articulated context. See, Zebra 2 already had pretty powerful and interesting oscillators which could say a lot by themselves. That was somehow the reason there was a Zebralette, the original Zebralette, you know, with the oscillator of Zebra 2. There is Zebralette and then Zebralette 3. There is no Zebralette 2. But there is no question that with a bit more synth to sculpt the sound, things could get a lot more interesting, especially considering that they are already very, very interesting. I mean, the presets I could make were pretty interesting. And as you find out in most other things from Eùoè, the stock presets don't disappoint, even though it's just a beta. Which, getting back to my patches, shows how deep this could be and how useful it could be for someone who knows for sure is gonna want to learn Zebralette the best and learn how to extract the best sounds out of it without taxing too much my poor computer down there. And there's plenty to do that. Now, one thing I want to use this patch to show you is that, well, beyond the fact that, of course, I already told you I can morph the shape of the MSEG, that here, you see, I can zoom in here, and they made this sort of a blocking thing be a lot more, see, when it's in this configuration, so it's actually made like this. There is that See, at the end of when it finishes rising, does this thing, and it's due to the fact that I could put all that information in there, you know, zooming and doing that. I could never do that in Zebra 2 or well, any other instrument I know or I have actually. So I'm happy with it. I love it. I'm enthusiastic about it. I'm waiting for nothing but Zebra 3 to come, but there's things that leave me wondering, because you see, I'm bound to be playing Zebra 3. I mean, it's been there forever. I'll be playing it, but the bad news for Eùoè is that I won't be paying for it because I bought ZebraAC. So the deal was that I got Zebra 3 for free. We'd made that deal quite some time ago, and I've been waiting, so I'm not buying it. All the people, I guess, who bought Zebra 2 eventually bought and still playing with it, eventually bought ZebraXT because it was very, very cool. So all those people are not buying Zebra 3. Who is buying Zebra 3? Now, to make a sort of what I think could be a history lesson, I could be wrong on a bunch of things, but when Zebra 2 came out, the two most used and abused synths well, the most talked about, at least, I could be wrong, there were others, there were plenty, but I mean the two most predominant ones were, I believe, Synth 1, which actually came a little bit later than Zebra 2, and Massive. Massive was a massive success, and I believe the reason for that was the fact that it had this nice interface that made you see what was going on, and that you could do this nice drag and drop thing, which at the time Zebra did not have. Later, more specifically in 2014, Serum came, and Serum somehow seemed to capitalize on all the nice things Massive had been doing with the interface, and actually taking the whole thing to another level. See, getting this mod matrix here, which is so practical and so nice. You get all the modulators down here, you drag and drop, and you see how big you want the modulation to be, and that's it, and everything gets reproduced back identical to how it is on the panel on the mod matrix. Nice, isn't it? So nice that Mr. Matt Teitel, developing Vital, some kept calling Vital a Serum clone, but even he, well, basically, he ripped off the interface. I mean, it's slightly different in the outline. I mean, I've been talking about it a lot, but I cannot really blame him, because, you know, he got it right. I mean, this thing is so nice and easy to program, and we have this mod matrix with the mod remapping features, which I've been talking endlessly on this channel. See, it seems the French guys I was talking about last week had this idea of saying, hey, let's just get the interface from Serum and make a synth that will sell just the same. This is what people want. They want nice colored curves on and modulations to the render up and do the curves here. Yeah, they thought that was the case. But what people wanted was a synth easy and direct to program, which is, well, I don't know, Pigments sold a lot better than Zebra 2 at least. But I mean, at least what I wanted, the reason I'm playing Serum a lot more than Pigments is that. And what has Eùoè been doing in the meantime? Well, in 2014 they released this, which is, in my book, a thing of genius. I never talk of it in my channel. It's so light. It's so light on the CPU. It's incredible. It's one of the most amazing plugins you can use for live performing. It actually sounds pretty good. It has a lot of feature, but as you can look at the interface, even though it tries, you know, it does look a lot like another synth which was very popular at the time, Synth 1, somehow being, you know, having this thing here and another filter here. But what it does have here, you have a mod matrix A and the mod matrix B. And the exact same thing happens here in Zebralette 3. See, there is a lot of the interface of this synth, like in most other Eùoè synths, that tells you, hey, here, what do you want to modulate this parameter? Do you want something to modulate this one, or this other one? And, you know, the thing which to someone used to playing Serum or Vital would be surprising is that if you do that, there will be no mention of that in the mod matrix. I'm not saying this is wrong. This is, plenty of synths in the olden days in the hardware had, their pre-wired modulation routings, and I'm quite sure there's a good reason from a computational standpoint to do it like this. But on the other hand, I cannot be blind to the fact that this is not very intuitive. This is not very immediate when you want to understand, study a patch and see what's happening, and when you want to debug it and set it up better. I mean, I love Zebra. It's been my favorite synth forever, but I found myself playing Vital and Serum quite a lot in recent years because that interface, that way of programming is quick, and I found myself being able of making way more articulate and detailed patches than, well, not being able, but being able to do them in a way easier and more immediate way than I would have been doing with Zebra because of this. So, Zebralette 3, it's awesome, yes, and I just can't wait for even just a non-beta version of it to just play with it properly with a little less bugs, maybe a little bit less of a CPU bite, and I can't wait for Zebra 3. Did I say it? Did I? Yes, I have. And let me say it again. I can't wait for Zebra 3. I can't wait for having a chance to use these oscillators in a context, having two of those and having some filters to play with, maybe even some modal filters, maybe doing FM with one to the other and all those things. Yeah, those things. And I'm quite sure I will be doing those things anyway, no matter how Zebra 3 comes out interface-wise, no matter how they end up making it, no matter if they keep it the way they've been making synths so far, which people do seem to appreciate, or they actually consider the fact that things have changed somehow. Last week, yes, I made that car comparison with comparing, Eùoè to Citroën in making things that made not too much sense in where they were positioned, and I think that was, in retrospect, not a properly perfect analogy. Probably in that case, I would have made a better one would have been, like a bodybuilder who consistently skips leg day, like you have all the power to do those things, but no modulations to actually make things interesting. I'm sure Eùoè won't do that. What I'm afraid they might do is doing something akin to what Porsche has been doing, like they haven't been redesigning anything about, been designing a lot of things about the 911, but, it still looks like it came out of the 60s and it still has its engine in a questionable position. And yeah, I would be very, very happy to see what Eùoè can come out today if they actually consider taking the interface game to in this decade, because it doesn't seem they're doing that. That's my impression. But yeah, I'm gonna love Zebra 3 anyway. Yeah, that's you can count on it. So this is it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. And are you waiting for Zebra 3 as me? Let me know. Let the people from Eùoè know. Yes, we want it. And we don't want no more of those other synths. We only want Zebra 3. Yes, that's at least what I want. So if you've been following and enjoying the video so far, I suggest you do click on the subscribe button down here, because you clearly like to hear me talking and messing with synths. And yes, this is it. Beyond that, in the description, you might find a bunch of useful links. One to get Zebralette 3 yourself, and others to my things, my music, my social profiles, everything. Yeah, this is it.